take a look at the starters for the Utah Jazz. Bailey out there with John Conchar. Then it's Williams. Then there's Keontae George. And it's Filipowski in at the 5. And for the Bucks, Miles Turner out there with Kyle Kuzma. Then there's Kevin Porter. Then it's Green. And it's Rollins in at the 2. As we hit the home stretch of the regular season, Grant, what's the focus for teams outside of the playoff picture?
You know, B.A., I think it's about staying competitive and building a foundation for next season. As a team, you need to use the time you have to consistently improve.
Here's Bailey. Back to George. This one for 3. It's Milwaukee with a rebound. This game against Utah, the first time they've met this year.
And somewhat surprisingly, the club split their 2 meetings last year.
Yeah, these non-conference matchups are a good measuring stick for a team. Taking on less familiar opponents can tell you a lot.
And it's Utah with the ball, following the score by Milwaukee. George against Porter. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. When we talk about Keontae George, what stands out to you the most, Dan?
Good question, B.A. I don't know that I'd pick one area. He's good at a wide variety of things. Can handle the ball, pass it, score it, and that gives you flexibility in terms of the guys you put around him.
That's good from George. And the Jazz haven't been past the second round since 2007. Now trying to build a contender.
Well, B.A., they know in the West that's a tall order. They got to be patient and build this thing from the ground up.
George hits them both.
You really don't even have to watch him at the line. Just listen for the net.
Pass to Green. And here is Kuzma. Launches it. The rebound by Filipowski. George feels it out a bit. Now Filipowski. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. George outside. Shot clock at 6. And it's Filipowski. That time on the assist by George.
Precise delivery on the pass. Led him perfectly.
Outside, Green. Kuzma outside. The 3 is up. Utah grabs the miss. They're coming off that loss against Denver.
And that was a tough loss. 1 or 2 breaks go their way, and it's a totally different outcome.
Yeah, it's often a game of very slim margins, and those close losses somehow sting even more.
Now here's Williams. He's averaging about 6 points per game.
Well, the analytics don't like it, but if the defense is giving it up, I like that shot selection despite the miss.
Here's Green. And stolen by Williams. Conchar outside. Pass to Filipowski. Over Green. For 3, George. And the 3-pointer goes. George has got 5 points.
A lot of confidence from George shooting the 3 early in his career.
Now here's Porter. Rollins passes to Porter. And that's good. His first bucket of the game.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move. Like, where was the defense on that play?
Well, when you are the aggressor this early, it is intimidating.
Filipowski sets a screen, and here's Bailey for 3. The rebound by Turner.
I can't believe he missed that 3. Regardless, that's not a shot the defense should be giving him.
Kuzma down low. Conchar covers. It's Kuzma with the miss.
And guys, his shot hasn't been falling this quarter. Time to settle down, refocus, and get a really high percentage look. Well, you love the unselfishness, makes the next pass, and enables his team to capitalize on the possession.
And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play. And he's got his first opportunity at the line here tonight.
John Conchar. First personal foul. First team foul. At the line for Milwaukee, Kyle Kuzma. Shooting one.
That's good from Kuzma.
Could be better from the line. Kuzma, a smooth shooter, but needs work from there.
Porter against George. Pass to Bailey. Here's Conchar. It's stolen by Kuzma. Porter looks it over. And here is Kuzma. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
Well, the league has put an emphasis to crack down on illegal screens.
Yeah, and yet we still see it a lot. It's a tough thing to police.
Utah leading. George passes to Bailey. With the floater. Oh, and Turner with a block.
Well, you see just how threatening Turner is. Any shot that comes within reach of him is in danger.
That one rocked this arena.
That's the kind of dunk right there that makes you think he's going to rip down the rim. And so it's George with it. He brings it up for Utah. Pass to Bailey. Back to George. And it's out of bounds. Still Utah's ball. And here we can check out the story for him.
During these last 10 games, he's been a menace on the defensive end. Poking balls loose, jumping passing lanes. He's been all over the place and piling up the steals as a result.
Utah with the ball. Here's George. And he's off from 17.
No defender in sight. He tries to take initiative, but ultimately comes away empty-handed.
Stolen. Here's Filipowski, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
Strong defense followed by some smart offense. That's just good fundamentals.
Kuzma outside. There's a screen by Turner. Clock at 6. Cuts off the pass. Here's Conchar. Ooh, good finish at the rack off the slick feed. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for Utah.
Well, so far they've done a great job of reading the offense and repeatedly putting themselves in the right place to interrupt the play and force turnovers.
And they've done a tremendous job just creating havoc defensively. Active hands have led to tons of turnovers that they've capitalized on.
Utah leading by 4. Oh, there's the alley! And an emphatic jam on the lob.
And the lead increases on a crazy offensive sequence.
Man, the dunk alone would have been incredible, let alone the fact that it came off a pinpoint pass. And so timeout here by Doc Rivers. He might have seen something and needs to review with his guys. Time for the 2K leaderboard, showing numbers from the second half of the season, teams that love to run. Number 1, the Jazz.
They've looked great since the All-Star break, pushing the pace and trying to punish teams in transition, and it's been working.
Outside, Green, pass to Kuzma. Outside Porter. 5 to shoot. Now here's Turner. There's the 3. That one drops, and it comes off an assist from Porter. Porter's got his third assist of the night.
Well, hey, shooting off the catch is right in Turner's wheelhouse.
Now here's Williams. No points yet. George passes to Filipowski. Oh, stolen by Turner. Outside Porter. Turner, a screen on George. And here's Porter outside. Williams grabs the board. Jazz leading by 3. 11 feet out. And misses it off the right side of the rim. The Bucks have gotten 50% of their shots to fall so far. They're 5 of 10. And then Turner with the dunk.
I love the attack mindset there from Turner. Playing with energy.
Porter against George. Down low. Here's Filipowski. Again gets it to go. He can't miss. 5 for 5.
Very little resistance around the rim right now. That's the 5th straight bucket they've given up in the paint.
Turner inside. Working on Filipowski. Turner, no good. Pass to George. Outside, Williams. Conchar up top. Here's George. The 3. And so far in this one, 2 for 4.
Well, he's a solid threat from outside the arc. George is a volume shooter from there for a reason.
And we know how loyal Giannis is to Milwaukee, but trade rumors continue.
Yeah, it's just the reality when you have a superstar player, but not much of a title shot. The sense is Giannis deserves to make another run at it somewhere.
And he gets the bucket. Turner's got 7. And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Utah Jazz. They lead by 4. Filipowski with it. He's coming off a 19-point game against Denver. Lets the 3 fly. And George with the basket on the assist by Filipowski. He's got 11.
Wow. Some strong perimeter shooting here in the first quarter.
And so timeout here by Doc Rivers. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan. And you look for bright spots in this developing core for Utah, Grant. What stands out?
Well, I think it's the front court, B.A. You have 2 gifted scoring forwards in Markkanen and Bailey. Then you've got Walker Kessler, an elite shot blocker, manning the middle.
Milwaukee making some changes. Portis, he's checked in for Kuzma, and it's Trent in for Green. Then for Utah, Love is checked in for Bailey, and it's Collier in for Williams. Outside Porter. Launches a 3. That shot missing. Utah leading by 7. George outside. He takes it in. Conchar outside. Love a screen on Trent. Let's go with a 3. Conchar can't hit. Milwaukee has gone just 1 of 6 from downtown. Outside Porter. From the top of the key, and the bucket is good.
Rock solid screen right there. The defender got completely lost.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look from there.
Here's Collier. 10 points in his last outing. 3-pointer. It's hauled in by Rollins.
Finding space on the perimeter, but he couldn't capitalize.
Trent's shot is off. Utah has gone 3 of 7 from beyond the arc in the first. Filipowski. Hey, he's now 6 for 6. He is cooking right now.
Yeah, he's been having his way this quarter, attacking the basket and protecting their lead.
Trent outside. Back to Porter. Shoots over Collier. Utah grabs the miss.
Well, for him, this has been a quarter to forget. He is not helping them close the gap.
Ooh, took him no time at all to get that one. And it's a 9-point Jazz lead.
That's been typical of their performance today. They're sharing the ball and creating good shots.
To the inside. Trent, the pass to Turner. Well, Stan, how about Bucks coach Doc Rivers? This season has moved into 6th on the all-time wins list.
Well, B.A., an amazing accomplishment for Doc Rivers passing George Karl. And within reach now of 4th all-time if he can stay at it a little longer.
That free throw, no good.
And Turner is the total package at the center position. A big man who scores, shoots the 3 ball, and defends with purpose.
Catching up on the changes for Milwaukee. Jackson, he's checked in for Rollins. And Cam Thomas subbed in for Porter Jr. He hits the second from the line. And over the 5 decades of the Jazz franchise history, almost half of those years they were coached by the great Jerry Sloan.
Well, the Jazz were a team that took on Jerry Sloan's toughness and a willingness to fight at all times. Those days are in the past, but they still echo in Utah.
Here's Collier, still without a bucket. 4 on the clock. Utah moving the ball around. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. The Bucks trail by 8. Inside. Here's Portis. Thomas passes to Trent. Jacks up a 3. Sends it home from three-point land. Trent's got 5 points.
The shots are certainly falling for him here in the early stages.
Pass to Sensabaugh. Love a screen on Trent. Here's Sensabaugh. Here's Henson. For 3, Collier. The rebound by Jackson. And here's Trent. And here's Thomas. Lets it fly. Whoa! He just got it off in time!
That was close. Now, he doesn't panic in these situations.
He released it just in the nick of time. What a shot.
And at the end of 1, a closely contested game so far. Utah ahead, they're up by 3. And we'll bring you the start of quarter number 2 when we return. And some good action in the books as we get back to a game that's been pretty close so far here. And what stands out to you from Utah in this one?
Well, they've used the fast break well to score easy points and keep the defense unsettled.
Yeah, they've dictated the pace to this point, looking to run at every opportunity.
Cam Thomas out there with Gary Trent. Then it's Gary Harris. Then it's Bobby Portis. And it's Jang in at the 4. So that's who Milwaukee starts the second with. Now here's Love. No points so far. And yep, that's going to be a flagrant 1. Unnecessary contact.
You know, it's just hard to watch a player put the well-being of an opponent at risk. He rightfully earned that flagrant.
Yeah, the officials are all over that one, sending a clear message that that kind of roughness is unacceptable. No good on the free throw. Coach, I've heard you say one of the most frustrating things to watch is a team that beats itself.
Yeah, B.A., I think one of the things is before you can win, you got to make sure you don't lose. And when you're doing things like turning the ball over or fouling needlessly, those are probably the 2 biggest areas. Those are beat-yourself types of stats, and it's hard to get away with those at the highest level.
Antetokounmpo's checked in for the Bucks. Pass to Sensabaugh. Outside Love. 3-pointer, no good. And so it's Portis who brings up the ball for the Milwaukee Bucks. Trailing by 2. To the middle. Here's Mikhailuk. Takes the assist and lays it in. Nice setup.
Hey, they're just getting pushed around inside.
Portis a screen. Fires from deep. Hits the trifecta. Portis has got his first 3 points of the game.
Well, listen, Portis certainly doesn't lack confidence off the catch. He feels like he can score anytime down the floor.
Here's Mikhailuk, 15 in his last outing. Outside Love. Back to Mikhailuk. Pass to Sensabaugh. Three-pointer. It's Milwaukee with a rebound. They host the Hawks after this one. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian. The Utah Jazz are going young, but this is a franchise that has a winning history, and that culture is still around. Coach Will Hardy said, the messaging doesn't change. The players have bought into the little things that takes to win. This is a cohesive group that's committed to helping each other. Yeah?
Building the right way. Thanks a lot, Allie. Well, Grant, for a late first-round pick, Cam Thomas is a certified bucket.
Yeah, B.A. He's got every shot in the book. And he's still rounding out the other aspects of his game. But if you need to score, that he can provide.
Jackson, he's checked in for Antetokounmpo.
When you think of prolific scorers, Thomas's name has to come to mind quickly. Now it's about him fleshing out the rest of his game.
Here's Collier. Still no points. Here's Henson. Pass to Collier. The three. It's hauled in by Portis.
This has been a close game in a lot of ways, but they do have an edge on the board.
Look, Portis isn't asked to do a lot of facilitating, so the assist there is just an added bonus.
And so Will Hardy calls the timeout. He's going to take a moment to give him a breather and talk things over.
It's now time for your Bucks Breaker Crew.
Different look for Milwaukee. Kuzma's checked in for Jang. Green comes in for Jackson. And it's Porter Jr. in for Trent. Then for Utah, Williams is checked in for Mikhailuk. Bailey comes in for Sensabaugh. And it's Keontae George in for Collier. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Pass to Bailey. They need this. Porter pulls it in. Milwaukee leading by 4. Wow, potent offense. It's been fun to watch.
Just aggressive and effective, taking it right to the defense. I just love the ball move.
George passes to Love. Here's Bailey. Now for those joining us now, we're in the second quarter, about 3 minutes gone by. Yep, that one goes. Bailey's got his first basket.
Credit their discipline. They've been working for high percentage shots.
Thomas outside. Pass to Portis. Outside Porter. From the arc. Fires in the triple. Porter's got 5.
I'll tell you what, they are on fire this quarter, taking total command of this game.
George outside. Williams on the wing. Green covering. Love, that's good.
Well, you could see Love getting ready to tee that one up. He was looking to answer.
Outside, Green. Thomas outside. Some nice passing by Milwaukee here. Pass to Kuzma. It's Thomas on the wing. Portis the screen. Shot clock at 5. Thomas misses. Jazz trail by 4. Here's Bailey. He's averaging more than 12 a game. A consistent threat on offense. Here's Henson. Off target from 3-point range. Here's Milwaukee. They're on a 13-5 run. It's Kuzma with the miss.
And the shooter had very little space on that attempt.
There's no air space there whatsoever. That's as close as you can get without foul. Yeah, that's like a quarterback leading his receiver. Put it right on him.
Here's Porter. 5 points in the game. Outside, Green. Pass to Kuzma. Takes a 3. And that one's good. And Green with the assist. 12 points for him.
Yeah, range check there for Kuzma, and he knocks it down.
Now here's Williams. And here's George from outside the arc. That's good. For the day, he's 4 for 6.
He's been so aggressive on offense, and with the results, you understand why.
Well, yeah, and the defense is going to have to respond to that and chase him off the arc.
And so timeout here by Doc Rivers. I think right now he might be looking at some adjustments. And the Bucks making a change here. Turner's checked in. All right, now we have a moment. Here are the most efficient teams from range over the past month. In the third spot, the Bucks.
Well, look, they've been great over the last month from 3. That is so important for their offense. Making threes opens up the entire floor.
Now here's Porter. 8 points in his last timeout. Thomas outside. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up. It's going to be on Mo Bamba.
Well, Thomas plays with a high level of energy. Cam really challenges the defense to stop him.
2 shots.
Free throw good. Thomas. Utah making a switch here. Sheboy's checked in. And both free throws good for Thomas.
0 wasted trips. They're doing their job at the line.
Jazz trail by 4. Here's George. And George with the jam.
Easy to see the kind of impact George is going to have in this league. Already so productive.
Outside, Green. Porter from outside. And that comes off the assist by Green. Green's got 3 assists now in this one.
And after not making any threes in the first half, he now has 2 here in the second half. Let's see if he continue to add to that.
Here's Bailey. To the paint. Here's George. Banked it in off the glass. George has got 7 points here in the quarter.
And just muscling it in, George, very aggressive.
Pass to Turner. And he finishes. That makes him 4 out of 5.
Unselfish basketball. That's what coaches love to see.
George outside. And there's the drive. An easy 2 on the layup. George has got 20 points.
And guys, the way this defense is getting manhandled down low, you have to wonder if they're at 100% right now.
Thomas outside from behind the arc. Utah with the rebound. Williams has got 4 rebounds now. Inside. George against Porter. George left side. Pass to Sheboy. And they're going to count that bucket, and they'll send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
They have no answer defensively inside.
All right, guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Bucks?
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
And also, the coaching staff has to love the hustle so far. Just playing with great energy, getting out and converting in transition.
Milwaukee has gone 4 of 6 from outside. Looking sharp here in the second. Pass to Rollins. Here's Kuzma, covered by Filipowski. And here's Porter outside. He buries it from 3. Porter's got 9 points in the quarter.
Yeah, incredible range. Porter Jr. can cash you in from distance. He certainly did there.
Up top, George. Give him 20. And A.J. Green is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
And that's 2 fouls for him so far. But I still think he needs to stay aggressive.
Conchar, he's checked in for Shibwe.
John Conchar.
Now Williams. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. 6 on the shot clock. And Williams punches it home.
Oh, my. That's why we have those breakaway rims.
Dude, he risked pulling the whole thing down to the floor right there. Now here's Porter. He's got 11. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws.
And such a threat with the basketball. Porter Jr. gets those fouls often.
Milwaukee shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts of the game. The first free throw is good.
And they've capitalized well from the free throw line. Their percentage is impressive.
Porter hits them both.
The last pick of the first round in 2019, Porter Jr. plays with a chip on his shoulder. I love the competitive attitude.
Now here's Williams. Conchar, pass to George. From 13, good. George has got 11 here in the quarter alone.
Look, if I'm one of his teammates, I just keep getting him the ball. He has been lights out.
On the wing, Porter. George defending. Here's Rollins. He's scoreless. And here's Porter outside. The rebound by Filipowski.
He had more than enough room to hit that. Just couldn't make it happen.
Bailey. And that one is stuffed right through.
Look at the power on that.
He has to be one of the top dunkers in the game today. Porter finds Kuzma. And he's now 6 for 11 after that one.
The passion Kuzma plays with inside rubs off and makes his whole team better.
And the lead just keeps changing hands.
5 times already, and we still haven't gotten out of the first half.
And so Porter will bring it up for Milwaukee. Kuzma outside. Shoots from 12. The rebound by the Jazz. Conchar outside. Kicks it to George. Williams from long range. Rebounded by Kuzma. Milwaukee has gone 7 of 15 from distance in this game. Outside Porter. 4-3. Drains the triple. Porter's got 16 points.
At his core, Kevin Porter Jr. is out there to get buckets and light it up. And we've seen that side of him tonight.
Now here's George. 22 points for him. Lets it go from deep. The rebound by Turner. Turner's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Outside Porter. 1:21 left to play in the first half of basketball. Here's Turner. Cash. Assisting on the play was Porter. Porter's got 7 assists in the game.
Well, they have leaned on him offensively with good reason. Efficiency will help you win a lot of games.
Now here's George. A guy this team turns to often, averaging almost 24 a game. Conchar can't hit. The Bucks leading by 4. Turner passes to Porter. Outside, Green. On the wing, Kuzma. Konchar covers. There's a screen by Turner. Kuzma for three. The rebound by Filipowski. Filipowski's got 5 rebounds tonight. George with it. Turner covering. And George with the jam.
Yes, sir. George with the flush.
And here's Milwaukee now. A tough loss coming against Boston in their last game.
It's a fine line between playing with urgency and being out of control. And they crossed that line.
Yeah, well, once things start going in that direction, regaining your composure defensively is not easy to do.
And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket is good, and he'll go to the line.
And he's been an ideal teammate tonight. He's really creating plenty of looks with his passing.
Yeah, when there's been an open man, he's found him. And you love to see a guy dishing it like this.
At the line for Milwaukee, Kyle Kuzma. One shot.
That's good from Kuzma. Here's Bailey. He got it up. That misses. Would have counted had it gone. And so it's Kyle Kuzma making highlights for the Bucks. He put together 10 points in the quarter. We're coming right back.
Thanks for tuning in. Did you miss us? Before we discuss the game at hand, let's first check out the upcoming schedule.
And that game against the Hawks, this looks like a complete toss-up to me. Talent level is similar. These games often come down to a few key plays.
And if that's the case, we'll see who has the better closers tonight. And talking about our game now, a very solid first half for the Bucks.
They're clicking from outside, hard cuts to the ball, and a few bone-jarring screens. Man, they have a high quality of looks.
They've been cashing in on those. We'll see if the sharp shooting continues. Appreciate you joining us. It's been our distinct pleasure, and I mean that. Let's now take you back over to the third quarter with Brian Anderson.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, this second half could turn out to be a great one. Both teams trying to gain an edge. You got to like what Keontae George has done in this one.
Through the first 2 quarters and change, his perimeter shooting continues to be spot on.
Yeah, he's been locked in tonight. Through the first 2 quarters, he's been a huge factor from outside.
The Bucks leading by 5. So the Utah 5 right now. They've got Williams, Filipowski out there with John Konchar. Then it's Bailey, and it's George in at the 1. Now here's Green. No points so far.
Lackluster defense, showing no desire to chase shooters off that line.
Williams with it. Porter with the steal. Kuzma outside. Turner passes to Kuzma. Back to Turner. And let's look at the rookie leaderboard and recognize the freshmen in this class that have been piling up the steals since the All-Star break. Third is Kyle Filipowski. The 4th spot held by Isaiah Collier.
These two have really taken their defense to the next level in the back half of the season, showing no fear when it comes to bothering the other team.
And he drops the first.
When you think about Turner, one of the best shot blockers in the league, who can also score at all 3 levels.
He's off on the second. Jazz trail by 9. George outside. Pass to Williams. Now Filipowski, defended by Kuzma. 6 to shoot. Filipowski, pass to Bailey. Over Porter, and Bailey gets it to go. Bailey's got 8.
You got to appreciate the consistency. Night in and night out, he brings it.
And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance at a three-point play.
And making the shot while getting fouled. I mean, it's about focus. KPJ staying with it.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
Second personal foul. Second team foul.
One shot.
At the line for the Bucks, Kevin Porter Jr. Shooting 1.
The free throw is off from Porter. Jazz trail by 9. George outside. Pass to Bailey. Here's Conchar. Utah moving the ball around. For 3, George. It's Milwaukee with a rebound. Turner's got rebound number 8 here already in the game. Outside Porter. Shoots over George. Porter's shot is off.
Well, when you get that kind of look inside, you have to capitalize.
Williams misses. And so it's Kuzma who brings up the ball for the Bucks. They've only allowed 2 points so far in the second half. 8 makes out of 15 shots. He's got it going.
I mean, they've been relentless. Just keep getting shots at the rim.
George passes to Filipowski. Here's Bailey. Green covering. Conchar outside. The Jazz again can't hit.
1 for 4 in the second half. Just trying to get into a rhythm.
Outside, Green. And here's Porter outside. He hits again. 7 for 13 and looking confident.
On fire to start the second half. 4-5 from the field.
Pass to Conchar. Now here's George. He's guarded by Porter. Shot to stop the run. Rebounded by Green.
Trying to get it going. Only 1 for 5 to start the second half.
Second half of play, and we're 3 minutes into the third here. Here's Turner. It goes again. His 6th basket in 7 tries.
And they're refusing to take a break, even with a nice lead. They just continue to attack. You have to love it.
Yeah, to put together this kind of performance at both ends of the floor on the road, it's impressive.
Here's George. Following the score by Milwaukee. Such a wide open look. Bailey's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Well, the defense was a little soft. He felt free to take that shot.
And Grant, when it comes to pure shot-making ability, scouts love Ace Bailey's natural tools.
Yeah, when he's taking good shots, he can carry the offense. He needs to get a little stronger and clean up a few things, but his upside as a scorer is tremendous.
Now here's Porter. He's got 21 for 3. Good. And that basket makes him 8 for 14 for the game.
And this is what Porter Jr. is out here to do. His teammates encourage him to shoot the ball.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Thanks a lot, BA. A lot of conversation in the NBA about expansion. Commissioner Adam Silver said there are clearly markets out there that are very interested and will run through a process. I'm looking forward to it. There's an enormous amount of interest out there. It's on the league to look at it holistically. Brian, back to you.
All right, Allie, appreciate the report.
I'll tell you what, they've rebounded the ball tremendously well.
Lets it fly from 18. A rebound by Filipowski. Jazz trail by 16. George outside. There's a screen. Back to Conchar. Williams from long range. The rebound by the Bucks.
And his struggles have been apparent. Unable to make an impact scoring the ball.
And here's Porter. He's got 24. Turner, a screen on George. Again, Porter missing. Utah's gone just 1 of 6 from long distance here in the third. The shots just aren't falling. Back to Conchar. From downtown, the rebound by Turner. Turner's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one.
Wow, his shooting woes continue, and it's weighing down this offense.
From deep. Another miss by Porter. Jazz trail by 16. George, right side. To end the drought. Rebounded by Kuzma. Kuzma's got 5 rebounds in the game. On the wing, Porter. There's the triple. Utah grabs the miss. Bailey's got 4 rebounds now. Filipowski with it, working on Green. Williams passes to George. Sinks the tray. George has got 27 points.
And he was hot from 3 to start this game. That's his first since halftime.
Now here's Porter. He's been an offensive weapon for them, scoring around 17.5 points a game. Uses the glass to finish the layup. He's got 26.
He's putting on a show this quarter, and the team's feeding off his energy.
Porter with the steal. The finish! And then Porter with the dunk.
Yeah, speedy transition play by Porter, getting there to put the finishing touches on the fast break.
And there's the basket, and the whistle blows. Chance at a 3-point play here. Going to the line for 1. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Bucks.
Well, you've got to like that they're not settling. They're attacking the defense on the drive and creating great looks.
We also got to highlight how on fire they've been from three-point land. They've continued to capitalize from beyond the arc in this one.
And that one misses.
They really have a commanding lead, not just in points, but in rebounds as well.
Takes a 13-footer. Rebound, Utah. Trying to claw their way back into this.
And the best way to do that, minimize your mistakes and take good shots.
Now Milwaukee moving it up. Outside, Green. Pass to Porter. Now Turner. Shot clock at 6. Counted from distance. Green's got 6 points.
Well-placed pass in the hands of a guy ready to attack.
Outside, Williams. Here's Collier. Utah moving the ball around. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Thomas outside. And that one goes in as he's fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts the free throw. This will be his 4th shot at the line here in this one. Milwaukee making some changes. Bobby Portis comes in for Turner, and it's Rollins in for Porter Jr. Kevin Love's checked in for Utah.
One shot.
Jazz trail by 21. Pass to Bailey. Here's Collier. Puts up a 3. And it's Thomas with the rebound. Thomas has got 4 rebounds in the game. To the middle. Portis, the pass to Rollins. From down in the low post, it goes. Rollins has got his first points of the game.
And since the halftime break, their offense has just been on another level.
Well, the coaching staff made some adjustments for the second half, and they've come out with focus and execution.
Now here's Filipowski. 14 points for him. The Jazz need to get one up in a hurry. And Love with the basket on the assist by Williams. He has 7.
Well, you got to crowd love out on the perimeter, or else he'll make you pay for it.
Pass to Kuzma. Now here's Thomas. And count it. Now 5 for 7.
And now almost all their points coming from the paint.
This is why you want ball movement and player movement.
And that's made it hard for the defense to key in on any one individual.
Now here's Love. He has 7. And that one drops. Love's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
A real skill of Love's, just has a knack for converting despite the defense being right on him.
Here's Rollins. A go-to option for this team. He puts up nearly 17 a game. Count that one.
That's 3 buckets in a row off assist.
It's been a devastating night for them. Nothing has come easy, Graham.
Nothing indeed. Even when they've tried to make adjustments, it just hasn't worked.
Here's Bailey. And it's in there. Bailey's got 13.
I mean, he's doing all he can. He needs help out there.
Thomas outside. Pass to Kuzma. Let's go with a 3. Utah grabs the miss. Bailey's got 5 rebounds in the game. There's a minute 26 left to play in the 3rd quarter here. Filipowski, the pass to Bailey. Knocks it down from distance. Bailey's got 10 points in just the 2nd half.
Terrific ball movement leading to the basket. You love to see it.
And so timeout here by Doc Rivers. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy.
And we'd all love to hear what goes on in those huddles, but we just get the snapshots.
Well, as a coach, you want to cover just 1 or 2 major points. That way you guys can absorb it and go out and execute.
Milwaukee making some changes. Jang, he's checked in for Kuzma. Trent comes in for Green. And it's Porter Jr. in for Rollins. Thomas outside. And 1:01 left to play in the 3rd. There's the 3. Won't go. And that makes him 5 for 8. Jazz trail by 17. Here's Henson. Snatched away. Here's Jang. He's averaging almost 5 points a game. Pass to Trent. Portis down low. Here's Thomas for 3. Ooh, making his presence felt here. He's now 6 for 9 in this game.
Whenever Thomas touches the ball, Cam is looking for ways to score.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Here's Sensabaugh. Love, a screen on Trent. Outside Love. The 3 is up. Jang pulls it in. Thomas outside. Pass to Portis. Back to Thomas. 2 on the clock. And so it's Milwaukee. They have a confident 20-point lead right now. And their 3-point shooting, a big reason they have a sizable lead. More NBA on 2K Sports right after this. And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And just a selfless decision from your 2-guard, showing his ability to get his teammates good looks.
Yeah, that's great decision making and one that embodies a team-first mindset.
And as we head into the 4th, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same for the first 3 quarters. They've got Bobby Portis, Cam Thomas out there with Kevin Porter. Then there's Gary Trent, and it's Jang in at the 4 spot. That's the group for Milwaukee right now. And he was camped in the lane there. He gets a 3-second call.
It's so easy to get frustrated when you make mistakes, but you have to keep battling.
Yeah, it's definitely a momentum shifter, but it's time to refocus, make smart decisions, and start fighting their way back.
Portis with a screen on George. Portis outside. Right side Porter. Misses in close. Jazz trail by 20. Here's Collier. Pass to Sensabaugh. Grant, you look at some of the rule changes in recent years. Does it seem to you like coaches' challenges are here to stay?
You know, B.A., it does. And I think that's a good thing. You know, I can think of a few calls I would have liked to challenge in my day. So it's a nice option to have.
Now here's Thomas. 14 feet away. It's hauled in by Henson.
He just couldn't finish the job that time. And too bad, because it was a nice look.
Here's Love. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Well, Love has never been afraid to get down and dirty inside. Even through contact, he's savvy enough to find a way to finish.
Outside Porter. Pass to Thomas. Shoots over George. And Thomas gets it to go on the assist by Porter. Porter's got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. Moving along, 2 minutes gone in the fourth. Here's Sensabaugh. And he gets it to go. Sensabaugh's got his first points of the night.
Well, you want to shoot a high percentage from the floor, that's where you go with the ball.
Now here's Porter. Tight defense on him. Shoots over Collier. Porter gets the bucket. Porter's got 14 points here in the second half.
Nice job by Porter Jr. attacking the interior, going after a close-range shot.
Here's Collier. And they say that leadership starts at the top, Stan. How does great ownership and the front office permeate an organization?
Well, you're absolutely right, B.A. Leadership starts at the top. And the best owners in this league go out and get great people, and then they empower them. They don't micromanage. They get people to work and use their expertise to build the organization.
Milwaukee making a switch here. Turner's checked in. And Utah with a change here too. Konchar's checked in. Off target with the three.
I know he's on a cold streak, but he can't let that get in his head.
Yeah, they might want to draw something up here to get him something at the rim or get him to the free throw line. Sometimes that's all it takes to snap a cold streak. Well, the defense got lucky there. More often than not, he's making that shot.
Pass to Collier. Back to Love. Love, a screen on Trent. Now Love takes the three. Rebounded by Trent. And here's Thomas. Porter with a screen on George. Thomas against George. Now here's Thomas. He's covered closely. Just three to shoot. And here's Turner from the arc. Utah grabs the miss. Right side Love. Here's Konchar. Nails the baby hook.
Well, Love always has his head up and scanning the floor for open passing.
Outside Porter. It's Thomas on the wing. Cash. Assisting on the play was Porter. Thomas has got 5 points now in the quarter.
After doing nothing from beyond the arc in the first half, he has turned things around.
Love, a screen on Thomas. George for three. The rebound by Turner. Turner's got 11 rebounds in the game. Now Porter. Portis outside. Pass to Turner. Thomas outside. Oh, George with a steal. And they're pushing it up. And George with the jam.
Well, games like this really showcase the potential George has. When he's putting it all together, he's capable of taking over.
Down low. Here's Portis. Good setup. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. And the Bucks lead by 21. Here's Collier. Out to the right wing. Pass to Sensabaugh. Here's Collier from outside the arc. Rebound, Milwaukee. Turner's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. Outside Porter. In your career, Stan, you coach contending teams as well as teams that have little to no expectations.
Yeah, B.A., give me the contending teams. Give me the talent and the expectations and pressure that goes with it. Listen, coaches just want as much chance to succeed as they can have. And when you've got the best players, you've got the best chance to win. And the pressure that goes with it is a lot easier than struggling night in and night out.
A different look for Milwaukee. Kyle Kuzma, he's checked in for Portis. Green comes in for Trent. And it's Rollins in for Thomas. Then for Utah, Filipowski, he's checked in for Love. Bailey comes in for Sensabaugh. And Williams is subbed in for Collier. Here's Filipowski. George outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Beyond the arc. Utah with another miss.
At this point, I'm not sure if it's the play calling or the player himself.
Green, the pass to Rollins. Kuzma outside. Now here's Porter. Charity stripe shot. Utah grabs the miss. Filipowski with it. Utah moving the ball around. Well, Coach, the younger generation in the NBA just continues to get better and better.
Yeah, it's like anything, B.A. I mean, evolution is something that's real, right? People evolve and get better and build on the people ahead of them. You learn from the people ahead of you. The players watch guys as they grow up, and then they learn to do things. The next generation learns from them, and the skill level just continues to improve.
George, and the layup is good off the glass. George has gotten 4 this quarter.
Well, sometimes you tell players you can have a good game in a loss. You've just got to keep doing what you're doing, and the rest of us have to figure it out.
Here's Kuzma. It's rebounded by George. George has got 4 rebounds now. To the inside. Oh, a dunk and a foul! A powerhouse move. He's got a chance for one more at the line. And they'll give that one to Miles Turner.
Shooting for Utah, Filipowski at the line for 1.
And despite the NBA's popularity, some folks criticizing the wide-open style of play.
Yeah, you know, B.A., some of the artistry is lost when guys are mostly hunting for open threes. But for some teams like the Celtics and Warriors, that's been a championship-winning formula. And, well, we all know it's a copycat league.
Porter gets the bucket.
He's been in total control offensively, and the defense has had no answers.
George outside. Pass to Bailey. George sets a screen from deep three-point land. Porter pulls it in. The Bucks leading by 18. Kuzma down low. Konchar covers. Kuzma, the pass to Green. Fires for three. Connects from downtown. Green's got 9 points here in the second half.
And he's not taking it easy on them at all. I mean, we all know he's going to keep pouring it on.
And defensively, that kind of effort is just not going to cut it.
Milwaukee with the ball. Following the bucket by Utah. Kuzma outside. Pass to Turner. Now Green. Here's Rollins. The kick out to Kuzma for three. And the Bucks hit again from deep.
They've had a hard time shutting down the three-point shot.
George outside. Inside. Powered down after the assist led him to the lane.
They were totally in sync on that play. Targeted the pass beautifully.
And here's Porter. Grant, you're involved with helping the NBA grow the game globally. How important are those initiatives?
You know, BA, it's very important to watch how the game has grown over the last 30 years that I've been connected with the NBA is quite staggering, but there's more work to be done. So every initiative, every appearance, every camp, every game is so vitally important as we continue to spread the game of basketball all over the world.
And so Porter will bring it up for Milwaukee. Outside, Green. 1:56 left to play in the fourth quarter. Turner passes to Kuzma. There's a screen by Turner. It's Kuzma with the miss. The Jazz shooting around 51%. That's a good number. Back to George. Pass to Bailey. Takes a three. Rebound, Milwaukee. Kuzma's got rebound number 8 here already in the game.
It's safe to say they have dominated this game. The game wasn't even as close as the score says in a great win for the Bucks.
They made the most of the extra rebounds tonight. Helped them out a lot.
Now, when you look at these teams, they're both great rebounding clubs. And any night, either one could have the advantage on the boards.
That'll do it for this one. They've earned their 27th victory of the year tonight.
Always good to start a season series off with a W. They showed tonight they take this team seriously, and the next two matchups between these two should be fun.
Here's Filipowski. After the basket by Milwaukee on the other end. For three, George. Pure from three-point range. George has got 34 points. There's 47 seconds left in the game. Pass to Green. Here's Rollins. Williams defending. And here's Green from the arc. The rebound by Filipowski. George outside. Here's Williams. Back to George. And here's Bailey for three. That shot off.
Yeah, and he seems to have lost his rhythm all of a sudden. This has not been his quarter.
Outside Porter. And so it's Milwaukee easily grabbing this one, showing that they're the far superior team. They win it going away.
I'll tell you what, give it up for their fans. They love to watch this team dominate. You best believe they're all going home happy tonight.
And Allie LaForce has something for us on the sidelines. Hey, Allie.
Thanks so much, guys. Well, Miles, a shootout in the first half. Were you happy with the effort overall tonight?
Yeah, no, the effort was great most of the night. I think that no team was playing defense in the beginning, so second half I think we came out there and really established our defense as we needed to do.
And you have to work on getting your team going earlier in the next matchup. Congrats on the win, though, tonight.
All right, Allie, thank you. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Grant Hill, Allie LaForce, and Coach Stan Van Gundy, this is Brian Anderson. Thank you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. And let's reveal our player of the game, Kevin Porter.